Start enjoying.
This is my funniest teacher, Mr. Harris. He's quite a talker and a great cook, too.
I do cook at home quite a bit.
So what things do you cook?
A lot of dinners for my family. Sometimes I make special treats, baked goods, and I'm a grill master. I like to do a lot of stuff on the barbecue grill.
And so what things do you cook the most?
The most. A lot of casserole dishes and a lot of poultry dishes, a lot of chicken, a lot of turkey.
So can you give us like a example of a chicken dish?
That I make?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. If I'm looking for some kind of taste to go along with my cooking dishes, I usually go with boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I will cook those in the oven until they're done, and sometimes let them cool down so that I can cut them into cubes or even shred the chicken. One of the things that my family really loves happen to be my chicken enchiladas. So I make a cheese sauce on the stovetop, and I usually make the chicken in advance, shred the chicken up, and add the cheese sauce to the chicken along with black beans, chopped up minced chili peppers and items, and wrap those up in tortillas and cover with either the remaining cheese sauce or else like a red salsa of some sort, and bake that in the oven.
Do you have like a favorite dish that you like personally?
That I like personally?
Mm-hmm.
I have all kinds of favorite dishes. But one thing that I go crazy over are barbecued ribs or rib tips. And that's my weakness. So I indulge in those on a rarer occasion. We did that for my birthday, and every now and then when I get a chance to, I'll go ahead and get some ribs.
And you make them yourself?
Sometimes I make them myself. Sometimes I order them.
How do you make them yourself, since that's a pretty hard dish to make?
The ribs are made usually well in advance. You have to find a nice rack with meaty interior between the ribs. I usually go through by removing there's a white silver lining, a membrane, so I remove that, and then I have some secret vegetables that I chop on up along with some spices that I mix together. Put that all together and I spread that and rub that all over the ribs. Then I take 2 long sheets of foil, wrap up the ribs in the foil, place that into a dish, and let the dish sit in the refrigerator for 2 full days so it marinates and absorbs all the flavors of those vegetables and the seasonings and the salts and whatnot. Then I begin usually by putting it in the oven, baking those ribs for about an hour and a half till they get nice and tender. And then at that time I'm getting the charcoal going. I love the flavor of hardwoods from the charcoal. Slap those bad boys on the grill, and then I go and continue baking for another hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on how tender they become. When you start to see the meat come down off the bone portion of it, then you know they're starting to get done. And for the last 5 to 10 minutes, you really have to judge how hot your heat is on the charcoal. For the last 5 to 10 minutes of cooking, that's when I take my special sauce and I baste those ribs and let that flavor just kind of soak in on caramelize on the ribs.
Do you have any tips or secrets for us?
You want me to give you my secrets?
Or any tips?
What do you like to eat, Alex?
Probably chicken.
Chicken?
Or turkey.
Chicken or turkey?
Ribs.
Chicken, turkey, or ribs. Okay. One thing that people always forget is the importance of seasoning prior to actually cooking. And poultry has this aura, this mystique, where people are grossed out by raw poultry. That's normal. So what you want to make sure you do is, before you actually start cooking your chicken, you want to pour your seasoning. Lowry seasoning salt is a staple in our family. So that's one thing I always get away with, Lowry seasoning salt. Pour it into a little dish. Keep that dish on the side of your counter. And then when you take your cutting block, take the cutting block and put it on the counter, and take saran wrap and cover the cutting block. So then you take your poultry, place it on that saran wrap, and you're not infecting your cutting block or your countertop with whatever people are afraid of, salmonella or whatever seasoning or whatever bacteria from raw chicken. Then you can reach into the dish where the seasoning salt is and sprinkle that and generously apply it to the chicken, and therefore you have not contaminated the cutting block, the counter, or your salt shaker. Okay? The other thing that I would always suggest when you're cooking poultry, use a meat thermometer. That's people like to use time as the judgment, but really some chicken pieces are thicker than others. So if you insert the meat thermometer into it and it hits and registers to the projected time or projected heat that you need, then you know that your chicken's done. You don't have to worry about anyone getting sick or yourself getting sick from that. But poultry is actually a wonderful dish to work with because it absorbs so many wonderful flavors. You can have an Asian flavor with orange juice and soy sauce. You can have a Western flavor by simply adding like chopped up jalapenos and some other seasonings. Or, it's a wonderful thing to play around with to try to figure out what you and your family like.
I made this bread with carrot, because I took a zucchini bread recipe, and I used carrot, and I took the zucchini out and used carrot. Carrots are harder to make a bread out of because of the protein in it, so it just senses out, like protein does.
Yeah, that's usually, they normally make carrot with cakes, but it works pretty well in the bread.
Yeah.
Let's see how this is.
First time you made this?
Yeah.
This isn't bad. This is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it came out very well for first try at it. It's got the consistency, what you'd expect with zucchini bread.
Mm-hmm.
But yet it brings out the good flavor of carrot. It came out well.
Yeah, came out very well. How do you like it?
It's no problem. Next time on our show, we'll have a special week. This is the birthday week since it's my birthday.